XO TAKEOVER.
Hey guys, welcome back to XO TAKEOVER. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why are we seeing you so soon? Well, with season 2 only just finished, I thought it would be a great way, let's look back on the season we've just experienced. And I think the best way to really show the season we've just had is to go through everyone's top 5, you know. I think that is the best part of XO Takeover episodes. I think since we started this way back when we began, you know, that is the main part of XO Takeover. Looking at every different fan's top 5 and really understanding how much of an impact each song has on each person. So, what a better way to reflect than to go through each special guest top 5. And, we've got a while to go until season 3, so we may as well kill the time. But yes, here is a compilation of every special guest's top 5 EXO songs and why. And hopefully, we will see you for season 3 of EXO Takeover sooner than you think. And in traditional style, ask you for your top 5 and why.
And top 5 in general, or hurry up tomorrow?
In general, EXO songs.
In general. Top 5 in general. My goodness. It's so crazy. First one that comes ahead is "We Still Don't Trust You." I don't like that's how you know it's a crazy feature. That feature is insane. Top 5. Adaptation. As You Are. Next.
Got 2 more.
Don't Break My Heart.
Last one.
Last one. This is always the hardest one. Always the hardest one. Next. Faith. Duh. Crazy. Yeah, Faith. Yeah. Top 5. That's obviously so hard. So hard.
That's why we ask it at the end.
No, for sure. That's insane. But it's amazing to obviously look back on those tracks and think of everything now. If I had to add an honorable mention from Hurry Up Tomorrow, definitely Big Sleep. And that's just off pure just Abel being Abel. Yeah, when we saw him in Australia, that he sang like no other, dude. Like, I've seen him so many times, and that was just so crazy. So I'm very excited for tour. Obviously, tour has been announced, so
Yes.
very excited for that. You gonna come down?
The only issue I have is trying to get a ticket.
Okay.
Otherwise, if I
So
had
would you come to wherever though? Does it matter really at that point?
doesn't matter. If I had a ticket, I would just go.
Okay. We'll see what we can do about that. Would definitely love to make that happen. I know, obviously, a lot of stuff shifted from last time because of the Rose Bowl and stuff. There was gonna be a lot of people coming down for that one. That one really hurt to call back, but at the same time, completely made sense. Very understanding for sure, or very understandable. But
I
yeah, no.
definitely, if I had a ticket, I'd be there straight away. I really want to come and
Mhm.
meet all you guys in America. There's
Yes.
so much stuff that I know I could do over there. Not just meeting you guys and seeing the experience, but also, doing an episode in person, or
Yeah. Of course.
doing an event in America that would like an after party or something. That would be great. I'm now going to hand it over to you, and in traditional EXO takeover style, ask you for your top 5 weekend songs or EXO songs and why.
Ooh, okay.
Man, I really should have brought my list with me. So top five, if I can remember off the top of my head, I'll start at number five. Number five is The Town. That was one of the first Kissland songs I actually listened to. Didn't even listen to it in order because I was like on Pandora back then and stuff like that. So it was just radio shows. But The Town, that's when I really fell in love with Trilogy Abel, Kissland Abel. That's when I really got into his music that wasn't mainstream at the time. Um, Number two, or sorry, number four, got to go to Die For You. The reason it was my number one song at one point, but it became a global sensation and it was all over the radio for a few years. I kind of got sick of it, like probably a lot of people that had that song at their number one, just because it was overplayed a lot, but it is still just an incredible ballad. One of Abel's best songs, production wise and vocal wise as well. He hits notes in that on that last chorus like you wouldn't read about. Um, Number three, I believe, is Montreal off of Echoes of Silence. It's just that is what you know Abel on the trilogy for is songs like that. Him speaking in French, having the production and the drums on it is just incredible. I'm a sucker for like just really good production on songs. Um, Number two has to go to After Hours, the song. I mean, that's like literally everyone's favorite song, I feel like. But yeah, it is like one of the best Weeknd songs that you can name out there. From the production, the beat switches, the vocal takes, everything. And um, even the last part where he breaks it all down, hearing that live is incredible, as well as hearing the crowd scream that last part is always just, it's magical. But number one, um, this has been my number one for a while, is A Lonely Night off of Starboy. I am a sucker for like synth pop and just pop songs. I think that is one of the best pop songs, probably of all time. Um, just the production and the beat changes gives me such like old school 80s Michael Jackson. Um, and I just am in love with just everything he does in the song, from vocals to production to the beat switches, everything on that. So there's my top five.
Is it safe to assume that A Lonely Night is then your top one song on Starboy?
Oh, absolutely, for sure. Yeah. Then it's probably Die For You. Then you go into like some of the other hits and stuff like that as well.
Now it's time to hand it over to you and to let us all know what your top five EXO songs are and why. Doesn't have to be from Hurry Up Tomorrow. Top five EXO songs.
Top five all-time EXO songs. Wow. Really putting me on the spot there because there's so many good songs from the Weeknd's catalog, whether it's a feature, whether it's from his project, whether it's a collaboration with another, whether it's a movie collaboration. I'm sure there's so many people that haven't even heard some of the music he's put out back from like 2011 onwards. So I'm gonna kind of pick and choose from each era so I can come up with the top five. So, from Trilogy, really hard to pick a favorite out of 30 songs, 30 plus songs. But man, if I'm gonna choose one specifically from Trilogy, man, I think I want to go with Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone, I think, is one of the most like it's a story that has stood the test of time for the Weeknd's career, because as you saw in one of the videos he put out before like a week before the album came out,
Yeah.
he used Rolling Stone as the soundtrack of something completely, you know, brand new, right? Like it's like a going down memory lane type video. And I'm just like, the fact that he chose Rolling Stone, because the message of Rolling Stone is, I'm going to change. I'm going to outgrow something, and I'm just letting you guys know I'm not going to be the same. And despite this song existing, people still want him to be the same. But I'm not going to speak more on that. But yeah, Rolling Stone is definitely up there. I really love Adaptation. Adaptation from Kissland is hard hitting, filled with a story that, you know, just makes you feel like you're there with him. The world building is so good in Kissland in general, but on Adaptation it's really like, okay, I'm in this universe now. I'm living this story with The Weeknd. So Adaptation's there on my top 5 all time. I think when it comes to that era between 2014, 2016, Beauty Behind the Madness, Starboy, I want to kind of like combine those eras because there was like a lot of music coming out from The Weeknd's end between these years. He didn't really put his foot on the brake until I want to say after My Dear Melancholy. And even then, My Dear Melancholy would have been like non-existent if things in his personal life didn't happen. So that was an impromptu project as well. And I want to throw My Dear Melancholy into that era too. So I think I wanna throw something from My Dear Melancholy in that top 5 because that whole project makes me feel something for what it was, for how long it was made within. It does something for me. I think I want to put I Was Never There. Because that I think that was the beginning of The Weeknd stepping into this new sound with new producers, different kinds of producers. And Gesaffelstein, wonderful producer. I love Hyperion, his project that features The Weeknd, Lost in the Fire. Features Pharrell, great song, Blast Off. So yeah,
I do just want to quickly slide in and give a huge shout out to Gesaffelstein's Gamma album that came out last year. Incredible.
I'm telling you, he's one of a huge part of The Weeknd's evolution, I think.
For sure.
So now I've got two songs left. I gotta be really careful about this one. But I wanna just say a lot of people have their opinions on Dawn FM. A lot of them are, I guess, dissatisfied with the direction it went. But man, there's so many good tracks on Dawn FM. And for me to include a track from Dawn FM, there's so many good ones. It's hard to choose just one to put in my top 5. But I think when it comes to just like what the track makes me feel, definitely Less Than Zero, I think does something for me that most artists can't. I don't think they can replicate that kind of feeling. It's got like this somber but like beautiful, like it feels good but it doesn't. It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
And it just makes me feel some type of way. And my number one is not even from any of his albums. It's a song he did for the Hunger Games Catching Fire soundtrack, Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry.
Yes. That I think is like my all-time, like, because that song makes me feel like anytime I play it, a tear will fall from one of these eyes, and it always feels like it's my first time listening to it. I love it so much.
I am gonna say, and I might be the only one who thinks this, Reflections Laughing reminds me so much of Devil May Cry.
Yeah, you think so?
You can hear it. Do not tell me you can't hear it, because if you listen to that track now, listen to Devil May Cry, then listen to Reflections Laughing, you can hear it.
Oh, I'll definitely do it.
Now it's time for me to pass it over to you and let the people watching, the people listening know your top 5 tracks and why.
Top 5s in general of his legacy.
General.
Okay. My number 1 And this one, I can listen to it day and night. And it doesn't matter what vibe and what mood I'm in. It definitely has to be love music. And it means a lot to me, and it's so meaningful because that was the first track I ever listened to. And that's the song that made me love Abel. So love music, numero uno. Number one. Number two, Kissland. Kissland is my baby. And the fact that I got the opportunity to hear it live at the after hours, those OG XO, we know. We know how much we wanted it. I love every part of it. I love the song. I love the lyrics. I love the meaning behind that song. I love where he would stand at during that time, during that era. It's just something that I just love and cherish. So that's number two. Number three, Angel. Angel is my number three. And it's because it represents someone that I love dearly. And I was in love with that person. And every time I listen to that song, reminds me of that love and that connection that I had with that special someone. That's number three. Number four. Oh, we get into the final two. Oh my God. Okay. Number four. Hard. King of the Fall. King of the Fall, baby. King of the Fall.
Yes.
King of the Fall,
Yes.
baby. That's my baby. King of the Fall is my number four. I just love the song. Love it all. Love the fact that all the EXO crew are in that video. It just represents who we are as EXO, and I just love that track. I just love it. Like, I live it every time I listen to it. Number five, even though this is so fresh and it's brand new, and I just feel that this is a song that as soon as I hear it live on this upcoming tour, I know for a fact that I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown and I'm gonna cry as a baby. Hurry Up Tomorrow. It's my top five. Those are my top five. There's more in the list, but those are my top five.
Only five. Only five. That's But it's time to hand it over to you. Introduce yourself to the people watching, the people listening, and let us know your top 5 EXO songs and why.
Yes, sir. So, of course, XOBOYSRT. Been a fan since 2012, 11. It's been a long time. I just want to tell you guys are amazing, man. This EXO community, definitely different than anyone else, man. Love you guys. And then, of course, the shirts that we're going to be selling right here, definitely going to be coming out very soon, getting the last touches. And just want to say I love you guys, man. Thank y'all so much. And my top 5 songs, man, that is going to be hard. Can I just put each album on? Let's see. Ooh, number 5, I'm gonna say Party Monster. That's from the Starboy track. That one's definitely my top favorite. I'm gonna put Purdy at number 4. Definitely 4. Let's see, number 3. I'm gonna say Baptized in Fear. Because that's definitely, I can't even explain it, it's just in the feels on that one. Number 2, I'm gonna say Heartless.
Oh,
I'm definitely gonna have to say Heartless, especially Metro Boomin on that one. Number 1, my all-time favorite song. I'm gonna have to say House of Balloons.
I like that answer. I like that answer a lot.
House of Balloons, I think that one for sure is where it started in that era, and starting from there to where we're at now, the amazing GOAT came up with the greatest story.
That is, I would definitely say that House of Balloons is probably like my number 1.
Yeah.
Or like at least top 5. Because that song alone just says everything that it needs to. And it tells you everything you need to know about Abel.
Yep. That's the reason why I put it number 1 every time.
going to hand it over to you, Holly, and you can let us know your top 5 EXO songs and why.
Okay, guys, I gotta be original, so I'm not gonna go with the exact same songs I did last time. But you all know Angel's still number 1. It always will be, I think. So yeah, that's 1. 2, we're gonna switch it up. I'm gonna take a song from the new album, Cry For Me. I love that song, and I was not expecting that type of song to be on Hurry Up Tomorrow, and he's just like, the beat on that song is so good. Oh, like, I can't stop listening to it. It'll never get old, to be honest. In the car, it goes really good, like, with full volume up. I'm gonna stick with Tears in the Rain, just because OG Kissland, I love that song. Like I sang last time, they all feel the same. Love it. And then for number 4, we're gonna go with King of the Fall. So not The Fall, but King of the Fall. That song is just, it goes so hard. Like, the DJ played it and I was like, oh my god! And everybody knew the lyrics too, and I was like, wow, we got some real OG EXOs in here. So that song will always be a classic. I make all of them swallow. And then lastly, we got Sacrifice. Because I feel like all these songs kind of have a similar vibe. I kind of like the more hype songs by Abel, just like as my favorites per se. So I sacrifice your love for more of the night. Yeah, that still goes really hard in the car to this day. So I love that song. Love to sing that song. So those are my top 5. Oh, top 5, not 10 for now.
I'm going to hand it over to you to let the people watching know and the people listening know your top 5 EXO songs and why.
Wow. My favorite, top 5. Top question. you are you are so incredible. Like tricky questions every time. Okay. The first one is Till Dawn, Here Comes the Sun. That song is very important for me because I first listened to that song when I was just like a teenager, and it was like so important. I always feel like so impacted by that song. And the second one is The Town. I am a Kissland stan, like this hoodie I'm wearing. The Town is just like so incredible. I mean, the production is something like I never heard something so perfect like The Town. Then okay, Love in the Sky. Yes, I am a Kissland stan. I will always support Kissland, so go buy Kissland everywhere because Kissland needs attention. Then I will pick After Hours. 4.
Oh.
I have to say. And something like between Tell Your Friends and Acquainted or King of the Fall.
You can only pick one more.
Okay, King of the Fall. Okay. That song is so powerful. It's just like culture is EXO. That song is EXO everywhere. Spread EXO from every single corner. And I also know all the songs by heart, but I'm not gonna sing right now because I am just like not so good in singing. But yes, I love that song. But a friend of mine doesn't like that song so much, but I always told her, no, you have to listen better because you don't know how this song is important.
Oh dear. But honestly, thank you so much. What an incredible top 5. I'd like to now hand it over to you and let us know, people watching, people listening, what your top 5 EXO songs are and why.
Okay, I'm not prepared for that. And we have like a new album to confuse even more my top 5. So I don't think it's fair to put some Hurry Up Tomorrow songs in this top 5 for now. It's been just a week since the album came out, so I will think about the albums until on FM only. So of course my top 1 song, After Hours. Definitely After Hours. Then, okay, my top 2, maybe Rolling Stone.
Number 3.
Number 3. It's tough, you know. I'll try to choose one from each album, even though we don't have albums on it. So okay, let's try to make one for each album. So for number 3, I will say Out of Time. Number 4, I'm going with The Town.
Great Kissland song. And for
number 5, I'll choose one from Abel Hernandes, and gotta be As You Are.
That is a beautiful song.
I tried to choose one from each album, even though My Dear Melancholy and Hurry Up Tomorrow, and Starboy as well, But
the issue with that is that there's more albums than options, which is fun to see. You know, which album are you going to pick? But yeah, an amazing top 5. So now it is an honor to hand it over to you to let us, the people watching, the people listening, know your top 5 EXO songs and why. Doesn't have to be Hurry Up Tomorrow, can be any EXO songs.
Okay. Dang, I might have to pull up the discography. But oh man. Okay, give me a second here. We're gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna try to do one from like I'll do top 5 from like each album. So we'll go over to the very beginning. I'm gonna say right off the head or right off the bat is What You Need for sure. Actually, I'll switch it. Hi for This. That's one. Why? Growing up with older brothers, we were in a Chevrolet Malibu. So this is a very, very old car, right? My brother would be listening to The Weeknd, and I'd be in the back seat in my little booster seat, and I'm just listening to it, and I'm also vibing with it because I'm like, oh man, this sounds really good. And as a kid, I don't know what he's saying or what the lyrics are, but I just knew that the vibes were it. And yeah, I remember hearing High for This and Birds Part 1, just like pretty much House of Balloons in general, playing in that car, and it just kind of like stood out to me. And I'll go back to What You Need. I know this is like top 5, but I'm just going everywhere now. I'm sorry. But back to What You Need. When you heard What You Need on the Trilogy album, there is something that was missing for the beginning of the song. And then he dropped it, I think like a couple years ago now, with the original soundtracks, how it was originally supposed to be sound, right? Is that give me the homie close, 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 close. And then and then I'm like, oh my god, wait, I've heard that before. Is that from the actual like the original? Because I was like, when I first heard it again, it just kind of hit a nostalgic feeling. I'm like, I remember being in that Malibu listening to that song. The trilogy was so or House of Balloons, Echoes of Silence, and Thursday were so different to me because I was able to hear that with my brothers, and I didn't I just remember I wasn't a fan at the time, but I just knew that this music was awesome. I'm just like, oh my god, this I get to hear this in the car, it was like lit. But anyways, from we'll do trilogy in general. I would say top overall, like number 1 is going to be like High for This for sure. Number 2 now, sorry. Number 2 um is gonna be oh man, off of off of Kissland. Ooh, I really like Professional. I think the beat switch in Professional is absolutely insane, and it's also just like you could play that at it's the best time to play that is at night. Yeah.
Do you prefer that to the beat switch on Adaptation?
Oh, Adaptation is a great one too, but I still prefer Professional, I think, personally, but yeah, Adaptation is a great one as well. When it comes to yeah,
Number 3.
number 3. Okay. Oh, this is so tough. Okay. Okay. I'm going to actually pass on like the Starboy album. I'll go to Beauty Behind the Madness. I'm going to say would be oh man, Tell Your Friends. I think Tell Your Friends, he was just spitting bars. He was just absolutely going insane in that one. Just had to come for everyone's head top. It was just like, oh my god, this guy was spitting. He was just bar for bar, everything. Awesome.
So you've got you've done 3. You've
Yeah.
got 2 left to pick, and you've got 3 albums and an EP.
3 albums and EP? Okay. All right. Off of My Dear Melancholy, it's gonna be Hurt You. Hurt You is awesome. Hurt You is a great song that I think he should perform more live. I think Hurt You live would be an amazing song to hear. But that's just my take on it, and that's just my take on it. Are we at 2 or 1?
Last song.
Oh my god. I might have done all this wrong. Okay. I'm going to say, okay, number 1 for me is Escape from LA. That's the cleanest song I've heard. Hands down. Escape from LA is too clean of a song. It was very different because like I also consider that to be like my girl and I song. Like we fell in love with that song when we first heard the album drop, and we're just like, wow, this is it. Like so good. And yeah,
That
was so difficult.
that is an incredible top 5. Tell us your top 5 question, top 5 songs, and why.
All right, hold on. I'm opening up Spotify right quick. I've been listening to this damn album since Friday. Goodness. Top 5. Okay. Cry for Me. That's the one. Baptized in Fear. Enjoy the Show. Niagara Falls. Without a Warning. Top 5. And that's in no order. That's in no order, but that's my top 5.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Any reasoning for that top 5 or?
Cry for Me. Towards the end when that beat drops and it's just going crazy. I freaking love that. Let me see. Baptized in Fear. This might sound insane, but every time I've listened to that song, I'm literally envisioning, like I'm watching him in that tub, overdosing, and that shadow is walking towards it. It's really wild to think about, but that shadow is coming to him, and that's basically death, saying, "Hey, I'm here. What's up?" And it is done for you. Crazy to think about, but that song gives me a lot of. It gets my brain going. I enjoy it a lot. Made me cry at least twice. What else did I say? I said Enjoy the Show. Enjoy the Show reminded me of Thursday Weekend, where like he's like in that part where he's like, take it slow, just drink it slow. That is so smooth. That was so smooth, man. And Future on there, he did his thing. He killed it. What else did I say? I said Niagara Falls, right? Niagara Falls is really, really cool. I know Kanye said he wants to AI the drums. Quick side note, Kanye, don't touch nothing about this song. I'm not playing with you. Don't touch. Matter of fact, leave AI alone, Kanye. Stop playing and do not mess up anything in your career. Thank you. Niagara Falls, really, 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 really good. What else did I say? I said Without a Warning, right?
Yeah.
Without a Warning made me think of somebody who is he's dead. It's the same thing with Baptized in Fear. It's giving me this vision of somebody who is dead and they're walking closer and closer to the light. It's like somebody in the hospital, and you know the heartbeat monitor is going off, and it's like beat, 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 like mad slow. That's exactly what I think of when I hear Without a Warning. And then I know I didn't say Hurry Up Tomorrow, but just to piggyback off of it, Hurry Up Tomorrow is him going to heaven, basically, or what we can only assume is heaven, right? So, but I think Without a Warning, Baptized in Fear, even The Abyss, they've made me cry at least 3 times. And I'm gonna keep crying too. I'm gonna keep crying.
You know what? Well, to be fair, it did make a song say cry for me.